James Tynion and Jorge Jimenez continue the fear state as Miracle Molly realizes what Scarecrow's plan for the Mind Machine is and what the villain plans on doing with it and Peacekeeper. James Tynion continues the rather lackluster fear state with more disappointing quote-unquote twists to the storyline that anyone who's been reading the book up until fear state could call is actually happening. This issue, of course, is the big reveal that Scarecrow plans on using the Mind Machine to expose all of Gotham to the fear and trauma within that machine. The one interesting thing though about his plan seems that he's funneling this machine's trauma through Peacekeeper 1, effectively turning him into a living bomb of violence and trauma. That's quite an interesting take, and it's not just, your usual, it's a bomb you can defuse sort of thing, but it's such a small part of this issue since it was kind of a tease near the end that it really doesn't matter until it's fully revealed, probably next issue, which is the penultimate to the Fear State story. Jorge Jimenez continues to be the shining star of this event, with a particularly orange and yellow looking issue, really hitting those Scarecrow colours and implying he's got a good grip over everything that is happening. The page depicting the beat up Sean Mahoney was really fantastic as well, and really sold that brutality of the fight from last issue and sort of the lasting effects that had on him. Batman issue 115 was another rather disappointing issue that again told us everything we already knew, especially if you've been following the book for quite some time. Again, the saving grace of the issue and of the event so far has been Jorge Jimenez's fantastic, colourful artwork. I'm going to give this issue a 5 out of 10. Batman issue 115 finds Simon Saint demand his people find Ricardo's probably exploded body in the debris of the building he blew up as the man stumbles out of the office, declining a call from Nakano's office as he's told his people have done some investigating into Poison Ivy's appearance in Alleytown, having tracked her through seismic scans, finding that her vine system now is going through to the bedrock, and if Ivy chooses to do so, she can cause another no man's land situation in the city. Saint attacks the office worker, knowing that this city is insane and it should all be destroyed and wiped from the face of the earth. He takes the man's intel, telling his team that they have a new target now. In Eden, Queen Ivy comes to see the injured Squeak, using her vine's leaves to help the girl fight the fever growing inside her. Mr. Wyse says that he and Ivy have actually met before, as he reveals that he built the machine because he saw how the tech could help people. He knows his memories of him developing the machine are too great to give up, so he kept them, revealing he worked with a young scientist named Jervis Tetch, the Mad Hatter, who soon wanted Wyse to be his March Hare, but he decided to go a different route, coining the name Dormouse, someone Pamela remembers from Arkham. Wyse knows that Hatter's madness didn't seem menacing to him. It was more childish and almost innocent-like, but it allowed him to continue his work, but he saw the cost to ordinary people and saw the way society discarded those they thought were insane, so he wanted to break that cycle. He says he's telling Pamela this because through her they could reach so many more minds with his machine. Ivy knows that her actions sent her towards death, rebirth, and so much more anger, as Wyse understands where she comes from, and maybe Gardner and Harley were right about a piece of her missing, but there is a lot more going on under her surface, asking her what does she have the power to do. Peacekeeper 1 meanwhile survived his fight with Peacekeeper X, escaping into the sewers, finding everything hurts as Scarecrow again takes his mind, telling him he did what he did for Gotham. Scarecrow confronts the man, telling him that Saint's nanotech is inside him just like how he is in Sean's mind. Sean can't help the bad guy, but Jonathan says he isn't a bad guy, he's a doctor and the city needs a cure, and that cure is Sean. Batman and Miracle Molly meanwhile travel across the city as Molly asks if Batman is scared, noting how calm he is. Batman says that he isn't scared, he's angry for all of the people in Gotham trapped in the city gone feral. He knows that it's been a while since they've had a crisis without any communication, so he doesn't know what exactly is happening out there. And there is panic from not knowing about what's out there, but he's not letting it control him, knowing that he has to accept that he can't control the city and he has to believe in those around him to help out. Molly knows that people will get hurt despite what Batman thinks, but Batman knows that he'll save as many as he can. Molly wonders if he ever wished to tip things more in his favour and actually save everyone all at once. Arriving at Gotham 2.0, Batman learns that they are there to get the Mind Machine, the device Wyse made to strip away the memories and trauma and become who they are meant to be. She reveals that the device doesn't actually erase the memories, it stores them inside itself, since it helps the machine know which type of memories to erase without rendering the user unable to walk or speak or drive a car. She tells Batman that she was thinking that Scarecrow wants to use this machine and weaponize all of the built-up trauma inside it, unleashing it on the city like a trauma bomb. Batman knows that makes sense, but the machine would have been dismantled by the magistrate when they took over the building. Molly knows that the one in the base of the building is just the interface and the real machine is hidden away. Taking a secret elevator down, Batman is shown the actual machine, where they are attacked by a Scarecrow mask-wearing breaker. Batman knows that he has been mind-controlled by Scarecrow, but by the looks of the programming in Scarecrow's work, it only is limited to protecting what Scarecrow left behind. Batman asks how strong the being is, learning that with his gauntlets, Breaker could probably punch Superman and the hero would feel it. Molly apologizes since she builds good stuff and the gauntlets he's wearing are some of her best work. Molly takes charge, grabbing onto the man's hand and beginning to dismantle the gauntlets, and within a minute, the gauntlets pop off the man's hand like they were nothing. Batman takes over, jumping on Breaker's head and beating him down, removing the mask and injecting him with a sedative that will keep him knocked out for 24 hours, promising to deprogram him of Scarecrow's mind control once they finish with the villain. Molly knows that this proves her theory correct and Scarecrow wants the mind machine and he's moved it off-site. Batman hopes that she can build something to track it and Molly says she can, wanting them to head to the Miracle Room. In the sewers, Sean is taken to Scarecrow's lair, where the villain tells him to lay down, putting something on his head as he tells Peacekeeper he is a remarkable man, wanting to see what happens when they channel all of the fear and pain from the machine into his mind, claiming that it will evolve Sean and even all of Gotham. Poison Ivy, meanwhile, tells her plant dog that letting people in was probably a mistake, as she suddenly senses something, knowing that this would happen and society just wouldn't give her any peace. She knows it's time to tear down the entire city and let nature reclaim it all as the magistrate breached the Eden Garden, told by Saint to bring him Ivy's head.